What's happening, good people? I am First Things First. Don't forget the coach. Then comes Mo. And you're here with the Evening Social Podcast, Spotlight on JEGNAFEST Worldwide Radio. Our guest today has been playing the drums since he was 3 years old, DJing since he was 12. He's from the Midwest to the Lone Star State. He continues to build and make his name for himself. What the buck? You right. We're here with DJ Buck Rogers.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
Man, what's good?
Can't complain. Out here in KC.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate you for having me.
So what brought you back to KC?
So there's a party that I usually do the wrap-up party, and like this is actually the kickoff party for the year. It's called Funk on the Rooftop.
Okay.
So we're bringing that grown folk vibe back to the rooftop and just throwing down with the homies.
Man, well, we appreciate you stopping through.
Of course.
You know, on the work day. Now, you originally from Kansas City?
Nah, originally Indianapolis.
Okay.
So still Midwest, but yeah. Been in Austin, Texas for about 12, 13 years now.
Okay.
So
let me ask you a question. You started playing the drums at 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does that help you with DJing any?
Of course. Because, I mean, you got to know how to count. You got to get, like, drums and bass are the most essential part of any music composition because that's where the energy and the feel and everything comes from. So just having that drummer's background helped naturally translate into DJing.
Okay. So you started DJing at 12. What moved you from drums to DJing?
Honestly, just having a young mom who was always in the party scene, knew that I was around music. She just came home from the club one day. She's like, you know what? I'm going to buy you turntables. I'm like, you know what? Okay. And then, yeah, started spinning UK Hard House at 12 years old.
Man. Okay. So the journey from Midwest to Texas, how did that come about?
Basically, without me becoming a 50-year-old club owner, promoter, booking myself, I've pretty much hit any plateau there was. Like, I've DJ'd the Indianapolis 500, done stuff for the Pacers. I was the first Red Bull 3-style winner of Indianapolis. So, I mean, unless I wanted to get stuck in a cycle, it was just time.
Gotcha. Okay, so I got to ask two things, and I'm asking because if no one has ever seen your set, they missing it, right? I want to know what makes a Buck Rogers set different from all the other DJs. Now, I've seen it, so I know. But I want you to let our listeners and our viewers know what makes it different.
So one thing about my sets and my particular style, having the drummer's background, coming from an analog world, going into digital, growing up with the technology and stuff, we've always had drum machines and things like that. So for me personally, it's definitely just what keeps me entertained, honestly. But I infuse the drum machine and digital elements other than just sitting up there playing 2 records, having a battle background with turntablism as well. And, but it's not always it's like cooking a steak, right? You don't want to overseason it. You don't want to over salt bay it. You don't want to undercook it. But, yeah, so I just like infusing the different elements of the technology as it comes at us because it's coming whether we like it or not. So either adapt to survive or get left behind.
Now, how did that come about, man? I mean, how did that thought pattern that I'm going to infuse these two, like what made you come up with that?
Just me being me. And, like, I've always been one. Like, if I were to go to college or something, it'd be like electrical engineering. So being around electronics, taking stuff apart as a kid and things like that kind of just led me naturally towards it.
Okay. Can you give us a demo of what that sounds like?
We sure can.
Okay. Let our listeners just hear a little bit about a Buck Rogers show, what that looks like.
All right. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm recording audio real quick.
You're in for a treat. I'm telling you. If you have not seen a Buck Rogers performance, make sure that you get out and you come and see one. If you're in Kansas City tonight, he told you to be here. We'll talk about it again. Get out and see my guy, Buck Rogers.
All right. So in a nutshell, when I use my drum machine and things like that, what's going on is I'm literally flipping the song on the spot. Now, these are all pre-programmed, so it's not like, you can just drop a song in here and this is going to be like this. Like, this is all premeditated and, preconditioned work. Okay. But in a nutshell, I have 16 pads. And each pad, minus like my DJ mentality, kind of getting in and out of it. So like your intro, outro, just like an extended edit, are all one shots. meaning like there's just one sound on one pad. So bringing it down. These are all one shots, and now what you're about to see and hear is me compose a track with my fingers. So it's... And by having the one shots, it allows me to switch tempo. So, in a nutshell, that's a live remix.
Okay. Man, appreciate that, man. Now this is my question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the creative process to understand, hey, because you said you thought about it. It's pre-thought about, meditated. So where does that creative process come from to premeditate what you're going to use?
So it's kind of an infusion of a couple of things. Coming from a production background and, learning how to make the beats and physically seeing, how to put everything together, it's definitely a big help. But also being a battle DJ and a turntablist, like you also had to learn how to do that with just records without, computer screens and things like that too. So kind of infusing those two thought processes and, just a little bit of technology, and that's where it kind of came from.
Okay. Now I'm gonna dive into something. I got to do this. I ain't trying to start no controversy, but I got to dive into this because you said it twice. You said having been a battle DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Let's explain for our listeners what is a true battle DJ.
Back in the day, a DJ battle with we'll just use DMCs as an example. One of the staples was when you literally had to show up. You had a 2-minute routine to show me what you can do on a turntable. So between body tricks, scratching, selection, wordplay, shit talk or ish talk, it's, it's all part of it. So like it definitely taught you how to like be cut from a different cloth because you're always in the spotlight. People are always watching you, and so it just, that's, yeah. Battling is just what kept my sword sharp and like what forced me to level up every year because I put myself in a stressful situation and I had to find a way to scrap out of it.
Gotcha. So it's not just playing songs on the playlist.
Nope.
Okay. You're actually in there battling, scratching,
yep.
Mixing.
Like you want to do your homework on who you're playing against, where they're from, have, custom curated stuff for them, call them out because you want the crowd reaction as well because it's judged by typically past champions and things like that as well. So the people judging it know their stuff. This ain't no vote for me or this ain't no, ain't no politics behind it. It's just like, do you have the skills to pay the bills or nah?
Gotcha. So you got a lot of things in your tool belt. I'm noticing like you first make beats.
Mm-hmm.
You're a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
You're a producer. And you DJ. Like those are all different things. How did you mix all of those into one? Because that seems hard. Like you find a lot of people that only does one, or they may have a skill to do two,
mm-hmm.
but not 4 different things, and then infuse all 4 into a set.
I think it's just my natural curiosity, one, like, because with me, I'm the type of person, like, when I get infatuated with something,
Mm-hmm.
it's like all or nothing. Nothing else matters. Nothing else exists until I either burn myself out on it or I'm like, ooh, what's this? Squirrel,
Okay.
But, nah, I don't know. Like, music's definitely in the blood, and, like, it's what's always resonated the most with me, so I just naturally surround myself with elements of such.
So what would you tell like some of our young listeners that are thinking about a career in music, whether they're interested in DJing, beat making, producing, or what would you tell them as two things? One, um, and I know you can't just give them a key. If you do this, you're going to be successful. But what would you say the key to help you be successful is? And then how do they get the skills that you've acquired over the years?
So a lot of what I have personally is just not necessary. It's a little over the top. So like the biggest rule of life always is keep it simple, stupid, kiss. Like you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive gear, and like you need to make sure you even like it to begin with. So get you a cheap little controller. You can find used laptops all day, pretty cheap on eBay and things, and dive into it, understand the fundamentals, and then just, elevate from there. Find a DJ that you like, study their style, kind of see how they put things together and try to mimic that. Same thing when it comes to the production. Like I always tell my students, like, find a track that you really love, recreate it. Kind of get behind their thought process of how it, and a lot of it's easier said than done. But nowadays with all the technology and the tools and the plugins and the third-party subscriptions that we don't need any more of, or, there's so much more access to things than back in the day where you had to like, hey, man, let me get a copy of that. But he's like, what you got for me? So it's, now these kids can just buy it all or, download it all. So, but definitely keep it simple. It was the biggest bit of advice. You don't have to overspend and thinking you need everything because you need to understand what it is you're working with. So kind of like it just was in my head and then it popped out. But especially with all the buttons and things we have on these digital controllers and whatnot, you don't want to be mesmerized and lost trying to figure out what every little thing does when you got to take it back to the roots. And back when we had 2 channels, 2 turntables, and a crossfader. That was it. No effects, no nuts. So like once you get the root to the fundamental, that's my biggest piece of advice if you're aspiring to want to come up in the game and be what's called a DJ these days.
Okay. All right, got you. So how long have you been DJing? I know it says started at 12, but where would you put your career of DJing? Where would you
so right when I officially hung everything up to like, all right, this is what I want to do for revenue, it was either become the GM of a kitchen or a DJ. And I'm like, well, what you pay me in 2 weeks, I kind of make in 2 days with this DJ thing. So I'm like, you know what? Peace. I'm out. And I haven't looked back since. And that was, when I was 19. So
okay,
we're coming up close to almost 18 years professionally.
Nice. Okay, 18 years. Now, you said GM of a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you got a little chef in you or something?
Mm-hmm. And shout out to my pops, Chef KC.
Okay.
He's that's my black side kicking in, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what's your favorite dish to cook?
Depends on my mood.
Okay. What's your best dish then? What would people say this is his best dish?
So I'm known for my peanut butter and jelly wings.
Peanut butter and jelly wings.
Or my hot honey. Wings is definitely my go-to. Like when we travel and like when I do like winter music conference and stuff, when we get an Airbnb, everyone's like, "Buck, make them wings, dog. Let me get them wings."
Okay, now you got me thinking peanut butter and jelly wings.
I'm
trying to see what that tastes like.
It's an interesting because I still put hot sauce in it too, so you still get a little kick from it. But the best way to describe it's kind of like a pad thai-esque because there's a lot of peanut and things like that. But just as a saucy.
Okay. I got it. Okay, peanut butter and jelly.
And for the vegans out there, we'll do some cauliflower. This is, buffalo cauliflower.
Yeah. Okay. So, Buck, you've played with some of the industry's biggest names. Can you share like a memorable experience that you've had?
Well, something that's pretty humbling is we actually just wrapped up the series with it, but basically for the last 2 years I've been teaching Talib Kweli how to DJ.
Oh man, okay.
And then I don't know, some memorable. I mean, there's so many up there, and my memory is just turned to dust.
Okay.
Like,
what about
definitely getting to work, be the official DJ for the most attended event in the world, which was Formula One, Austin.
Okay.
About 400,000 people came through that, and yeah. That's a whole nother breed of money too. F1 money, dog.
Okay. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a different crowd, you know.
Oh yeah,
Playing in front of 100 people, 200 people, 1,000, 1,500, but playing in front of that many, well, that's different.
Yeah.
And you had them rocking.
Can't please them all, but you know,
right. But
it's the majority that matters.
That's when you say rocking, it's the majority. It's not the 2 or 3 because you got somebody on their phone.
Always, or putting your phone up, play Sexy Red, or remember?
Gotcha.
Or Bad Bunny was the man. Bad Bunny, don't get me started.
Now, give me one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in collaboration.
Biggest lessons, especially for me, sometimes you just need to learn how to shut up, be quiet, and just absorb, listen, play your role. Other times, don't be afraid. Just, you know, the solar opposite of that, too. Don't be afraid to apply your opinion and, you know, put your 2 cents in and things like that, too. So, but when it comes to collaboration, I would more so just feel like for the vibe, you know, because when it comes to music creation, you don't want to force it. You want to feel it. So it definitely depends on the vibe of the person you're working with or the studio you're at or, you know, something of that nature.
Okay. How do you stay motivated, man? You've been doing this for 18 years. How do you stay motivated to continue to reinvent yourself and do more?
Honestly, as of late, especially with the current music situation that we have, I've been kind of unplugged, but still tapping into the music side of things, but getting more involved with like hardware development and master classes and tutorials and things like that. So just kind of giving back in a sense and, taking that route because I'll tell you, this industry can be very toxic and it could wear you down.
So before we get to the ending of this interview, can we get another buck?
You want a little something extra?
Yeah, just another little something extra, man. One more time. I get it. My young guy was over there bobbing to it. I need him to hear it one more time. Yeah, he say he might want to do this. That's what he said. So we gotta let him hear it one more time.
Hey, it starts with one button at a time. Let's see what we got. All right. Need to keep it PG though.
Now, once again, while you finding that, tell us again where people here in Kansas City can find you.
So tonight I'll be at O'Dowd's Gastro, and then Monday we're going to be at Tin Roof downtown for Funk on the Rooftop.
Okay.
And then to those who want to venture out, I will be in St. Louis Sunday playing with Trackstar, Run the Jewels DJ. We got Scratch Bastard coming down from Toronto. The party's called The Goods. I forget the venue name. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. I suck at promo. Good. I like it. So, if you're out, you see Hurting, come out and check him out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed to see a Buck Rogers set.
All right, let's take it back to the B-boy era.
Okay.
Maybe. There we go. All right, let's see. Y'all get funky.
Man, appreciate that. A couple more questions, and I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy today. One is, how has innovation, because things always change and moving, how has that or has it changed your set?
Honestly, like I said, technology is coming whether we like it or not. So the more you just absorb yourself with it and accept it in a safe manner, there's a lot of behind the scenes metadata and things. We don't need to go down that wormhole. Anyways, just adapting to the technology regardless because it's coming. So like, it's always leveling me up because honestly, back in the day when you had to like patch 20,000 things into something just to get one sound or something to work, nowadays there's a plug-in for it. So like it simplifies a lot. So it's like, just take advantage of it.
Gotcha.
And I like buttons, so I'm I just add more buttons to things and just get to pushing.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, and I didn't get to ask you then. This is a question I've been wanting to ask you since I met you. How do you get the audience so engaged in your set and your performance? Because that was one thing I noticed from the beginning. When you started playing, like the audience was engaged. They're watching, they're listening, they're dancing, they're moving. As you go. So how do you do that?
That just comes with just putting in the 100,000 hours and just putting in the time, understanding the audience, understanding the different audiences, trying to bring all different age groups and whatnot together as one. And like that's the true lost art of DJing nowadays. Because with the technology, everyone's a DJ and they just throw hand hearts up and they got a big stage production value and they don't. But it's all part of it, So that's why I add these things and elements to help me stand out from the mediocrity of what's out there. So
now there's an art in understanding that, going to somewhere and then being able to play a song or play a set that Midwest is going to like, and then play a set that the South will like, and play a set that the West will like. So how do you gauge the music? Are the music different? Are the songs different?
Oh yeah, the style's different.
So how
the
do you
vibe's different.
How do you do that?
It just comes down with just practice and surrounding yourself and meeting kinfolk and things like that. Swapping music to kind of get to understand. If someone grew up in that city and you got a homie there, it's just like, hey man, come on, put me on. What you got for me? But no, it just comes down to just knowing your audience. Practice. Nowadays, with the internet and everything, you can find all the information about a song or an artist or a group and kind of understand what region they came from, and just studying.
Now, do you find sometimes that an artist may come from a region, but that song is not big in that region they came from, or they're not playing it's more in another region? Mm-hmm. So, do you find that, and how do you combat that?
It happens all the time because you can sit here and put your heart and soul into a record thinking the community is going to mess with it, but then it actually goes viral elsewhere. And then it's just like when you leave your hometown until you're doing something big outside of your hometown, they don't really bucks with you. But, once they start chasing those coattails, they're like, now they're all of a sudden about it and things like that. So it's just, it's all part of it.
Okay. Now, what challenges have you faced in your music career and you had to overcome?
There's constantly challenges. Me getting old is one. Yeah. My knees can't handle them 5-hour shifts. But there's always challenges, from a drunk patron to, a bar manager or a promoter stiffing you and, things like that. It's just all about how you try to spin it in a positive way or just, take your lick, learn your lesson, and then just step more correct next time. Get things on contract or, yeah.
Yeah. So what can we expect next from you? What's the next bar raising from?
So as of lately, we got a couple of things. I got a side project that we're about to launch. Well, we already kind of softly are with my homie Zeely, who used to battle rap back in the day. With Scribble Jam and all that way back when. So we're launching our group known as Jumping Planets.
Okay. And
the concept being we'll dedicate a genre to a planet and we just jump around because we just, we're music ADD. We're not trying to get pigeonholed. So we got that aspect popping off. I got the University of Tampa behind me to film. We actually just shot my music video and I did an Ableton workshop for them. But this summer I'm going to be filming all my master classes, tutorials, and things like that. Start building for the site and start giving back.
Yeah. So you're getting more into teaching now.
Yep.
That side of it. And I like that.
Between that and working on my Buck Willis.
Okay. Okay. Man, Now, somebody real dear to our program here at Jenna Club you relate to. So tell me about how you and Tone Henderson. How do y'all?
We go way back. So he's actually a cousin to one of my cousins, Tico, back in Atlanta. That's where all the light skin side comes in.
Okay.
But no, it's funny because back when I was dabbling into DJing, like I said, I started off spinning UK Hard House and whatnot. And then my pops was like, yo, hit up Tone. He works, he's with Def Jam and doing all this stuff with the labels. So I finally hit him up. And then by the time I got to high school, kids were like, you're a DJ, play my party, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, trust me, you don't listen to what I play. But then I finally reached out to Tone, and then he ended up putting me in the record pools when they were giving out promo records and stuff back in the day. So I'll come home from school with a box of records on my porch. Like I had Young Jeezy Thug Motivation 101 before it hit the streets. Chopped and screwed that and Cool Let It Pro, and that went viral before viral was a thing back in high school. Yeah. And but yeah, no, that's pretty much what started the whole relation. So, the pops told me to hit him up, and he put me in that record pool, and blessed me with all them jewels, and here I am acting a fool.
Love it. So, I'm going to let you go. This is my last question, and then we're going to get out of here. All right? How, or what, no, not how, I'm going to say this. Last question, what would you tell our youth about your journey and how they can create a journey that's successful for them, whatever it is, whatever endeavor it is? It don't have to be DJing, it have to be music, but you've learned something on how to be successful. Mm-hmm. And being successful has some common things no matter what you want to be in. So what would you tell them that their journey of success has to include?
So no matter what you do in life, your network is your net worth. So it's all about, at the end of the day, if you want to level up and you want to, if you're the smartest person in the room, leave. So meaning, if you have nothing to gain, unless you're there, doing a clinic or teaching or something, obviously it's a little different. But, if you have nothing to gain in that circle, then why wasting your time there? You need to find someone who can get you to that next level and next tier. And I'm not talking using, stepping over people, but I'm saying building those relationships. Surround yourself with those who inspire you so y'all can literally level up together. So between that, don't overthink. Don't get sucked into the social media scandals, and don't sell your soul. People are... One thing I've really loved about my journey is that, yes, it's taken me a long time, but there's so many lessons and hardships that I've learned now that if I wanted to step with a label or, anything of that nature, I've seen all the horror stories, I've witnessed, I've lived through it, so for those who might have a viral song and whatnot, and, you got these labels knocking on your door and stuff, read the fine print. Don't be so thirsty and hungry just because they're throwing money in your face that, don't sell out. And just, stay true. Do it with a passion and just love what you do.
I got it. Tell them how they can follow you, where they can catch you.
So all social media for me, no matter what platform it is DJ Buck Rogers. That's RODGERS. But yeah, literally just DJ Buck Rogers. And no matter what platform it is, you'll find a version of me there.
Okay. Even the Australian version?
No, but I bought his domain name. He ain't got a website. It reroutes to mine.
No, I had to throw that.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Man, Buck, I appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Thank you for stopping through with JEGNAFEST Worldwide Radio. We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you.
And we look forward to, hearing your set later on tonight, seeing what you're doing, and then appreciate it.
Oh, we gonna get Buck wild. Let's go. Appreciate you.
What the Buck?
Hey.
We here. I am Coach Mo, here with DJ Buck Rogers. This has been your Evening Social Podcast Spotlight on JEGNAFEST Worldwide Radio.
Peace.